Welcome everyone. It's been said that we welcome all to welcome all. Perhaps you'd still welcome some of us who merely tolerate most before sufficient coffee. But you are all welcome at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Statesboro. You are welcome in this, our religious home. We extend a warm welcome to any visitors and guests, any this morning in this small midsummer crowd. All right, then you probably don't need to sign the book. To sign the guest register. To anyone who is visiting, we could encourage you to do that. Give us some contact information. And at any rate, our website is www.uustatesboro.org. And thank you, members and guests, for sharing the resources during our offertory later in our service or via our website. You can do that. In the month of June, half of our offering that is not designated as pledge, when we pass the pledge, will be donated to Boro Pride. And it is kind of running smaller crowd in the summer. This happens every summer. So maybe pitch in a little more. One more Sunday is there. It's 5 Sundays for Boro Pride. Now I invite you to join with me in reciting our congregational affirmation. Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and service is this prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Our worship leader this morning is the talented and beautiful June Bryant.
I told him I'd have coffee if he didn't say that. But let us worship together. And I have to organize because this newfangled computer stuff is just beyond me, but let's try. There we go. We begin with the lighting of our chalice, the symbol of our religious heritage. Please join me in the chalice reading, and then rise as you're willing and able, and join me in singing Rise Up, O Flame twice. This is our chalice
of love and light, uniting us all by day and night. Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy. Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy.
Now let's honor the light within one another as we greet those seated nearby.
Let's make it official. I've greeted everybody on this side. Good to see you. I greeted everybody over there, so I'll come over.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning.
And now's the time for schooling for all ages. If you are a child or a child at heart, we welcome you to come down front. Our story today is going to be read by our speaker, Alicia Burnsed. So,
I was gonna sit on the floor, but I guess it's just. I was gonna sit on the floor, but I want to sit on the floor. So the book today is Becoming a Good Creature. I'm gonna say being a good creature. I believe we're all good creatures. Sometimes we don't realize it as quickly, but we're all good creatures. School is not the only place to find a teacher. Sometimes we meet teachers in the forest, or in my glasses, barn, or in the ocean, or right in our own house. Some of my teachers have had 2 legs, while others have had 4 or even 8. But all have taught me something important about how to be a good creature in the world. The first was her dog. Taught her how to listen for voices that were quiet and loud, and taught her how to look and see what's going on around and be very observant. Got to shorten this a little bit, so I'm putting some of these in my own words here. When I grew up, I still hungered to learn about animals. In Australia, I met birds who stood almost as tall as I did. Emus can't fly, but they run like the wind. What were their lives like? I wanted to know. So I moved to a tent and I watched them. And I learned then that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to travel all over the world and observe animals and let them teach me. Respect for others. Next, I went to Africa to meet gorillas. I hiked in the mountains there for a long time. It was nothing like my home in New Hampshire. As I stopped to catch my breath, I saw a person running toward me. Why? Because a big gorilla was chasing him, but I didn't run. I crouched low and I looked at the ground as if bowing before a king. The gorilla stood and beat his chest and let out a roar. And when he saw that I understood that he was boss, he turned and calmly led me to meet his gorilla family. Ever since that day, I've respected my animal hosts in the homes. I went to India to meet tigers. I went to Africa and met lions. In the rivers of South America, I swam with piranhas and electric eels. This is a true story, by the way. I love her. In the ocean, I met sharks. None of them even hurt me. I learned to wait patiently because I traveled all the way to Australia again, specifically to see this cassowary bird. Did not see it the entire time I was there until the very last day. I walked out to just see if I might see anything, just giving up or knowing that I might not see the bird, but enjoying it anyway. And then she saw 3 of them on the very last day. Make your own family. At home, animals continue to teach me. My husband and I didn't plan on having babies. But soon a baby came to us, a baby pig. We named him Christopher Hogwood. 2 little girls and their mother moved in next door. They saw Chris in the backyard and came to visit every day. He was a very happy pig. We weren't all related, but Christopher showed us that it didn't matter. We became one big family. My husband, our border collie, Tess, our hens, the 2 little girls and their mom, and one very happy pig. There's 3 things in here that are my favorites. See for yourself. I've heard it all before. Hyenas are ugly. Hyenas are lazy. Hyenas are thieves. They steal food from lions. Everyone said so, even the Lion King. Then I visited a hyena den. The fluffy cubs wrestled like playing puppies. Mothers tenderly licked their babies, and they weren't stealing food from lions. More often, lions stole food from them. Hyenas reminded me that what everyone says is not always true. Love little lives. had a tarantula, about as big as a chipmunk, and she learned to respect the little small things and the big things. Learn forgiveness. One Christmas morning, I found an intruder in our hen house, a white-coated weasel. Though tiny, weasels are fierce. They catch and eat animals much bigger than themselves. They even eat chickens. Towering above him, I looked into the weasel's black eyes. Fearlessly, the little weasel stared back. How brave he was, and how beautiful in his snowy winter coat. I was dazzled by his determination and couldn't be angry at his will to survive. Find common ground. Wow. All of us find common ground. Octavia had 8 arms, 3 hearts, no bones. She lived in the water. I live on land. Amazing. What could we possibly have in common? We both liked to play. As different as we were, we became friends. She became friends with so many octopuses that she wrote a book on how to search the human soul through octopuses. Trust tomorrow. The little girls next door moved away. Our pig grew old. Our dog grew old. It felt like everything was ending. Then one day I got a phone call from our veterinarian. He told me that a neighbor's border collie had just had pups. They were all valuable dogs with important work to do, herding sheep, cows, and pigs when they grew up. All the babies already had farm families waiting for them. All but one. One puppy had a blind eye. Would I take him? Thurber taught me the best lesson of all. Even in the darkest times, there may be a wonderful new teacher waiting for you right around the corner. To all the creatures who have been my teachers, wild and tame, named and unnamed, animal and human, this makes me cry. Thank you for showing me a world more surprising, more alive, and far more glorious than I could have ever imagined. I bought like 8 copies of this. Okay.
Will you guys come up and help me lead everybody in our UU affirmation? Want to come help me? We gotta tell everybody what to do, okay? All right. So say, we are
Unitarian Universalists, equal in open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands.
All right, now, you are on the end, if you would join hands and make a bridge for our children to live from.
Go easy on me. I need the words.
We shelter you. You warm our hearts as you pass through. May our love guide you as you go, to help you learn and help you grow.
If you have your hymnal with you close by, I know there's some out there. Would you please turn to number 440 in the back? This is responsive. It's called From the Fragmented World. I'll read the plain if you will respond with the italics. What number was it? 440. From the fragmented world of our everyday lives, we gather together in search of wholeness.
By many cares and preoccupations, by diverse and selfish aims, are we separated from one another and divided within ourselves.
Yet we know that no branch is utterly severed from the tree of life that sustains us all.
We cherish our oneness with those around us and the countless generations that have gone before us.
We would hold fast to all of the good we inherit, even as we would leave behind us the outworn and false.
We escape from bondage to the ideas of our own day and from the delusions of our own fancy.
Let us labor in hope for the dawning of a new day without hatred, violence, and injustice.
Let us nurture the growth in our own lives of the love that is shown in the lives of the greatest of men and women, the rays of whose lamps still illuminate our way.
In the Spirit we gather, in the Spirit we pray. Please join me for a few moments of meditation and silence. Our speaker today is our very own Alicia Burnsed. I'll do it.
Okay, or,
You just want to start, you better start with that?
yeah,
Okay.
no, I'm not starting to do it
Just
yet.
holler at me.
Okay, or you can just show me if I just push a button, I don't want you to have to.
Well, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay, never mind, I'll call you, thank you.
VHS tapes are the tip top of my technology.
Mine too, I'm right with you, thank you. Well, so, I thought I was gonna speak about Wim Hoff, but I don't have that, I don't have that conviction deeply embedded in my practice yet. I did until I had hip surgery and I couldn't get in the pool anymore. But I was doing his breathing technique and his, and cold water plunge. But, anyway, and so I thought I was gonna speak on that, but that's gonna have to be for another time whenever I'm really plugged into that again. And so, what I am gonna speak on is just a few minutes on the work of Byron Katie, and then I'm gonna, whenever she shares this, if she shares this even in her books or whatever, she speaks, she discusses it very little and demonstrates it most of the time. And the best way to do that is just to demonstrate it. So this video is just, I think it's 14 minutes or something like that. And it covers so much, and especially at the end. And what I would encourage you to think, to notice is if there's a thought that you're having that's not positive, and maybe it's about somebody, and if you say something negative about this person, or if you say this person is a bigot, this person is a whatever, whenever we hear ourselves saying those kind of things, how does that make us feel? So anyway, that wasn't what I was going to start with. This is what I was going to start with. But during the video, that sticks out to me. And this is the first time y'all see it, so it might not stick out to y'all. I wanted to remind you to take a listen to that. So I'd like to begin by saying that applying this work to my everyday life has made a most profound difference in how I understand life to be, and how joyfully I get to live it. There's such a noticeable difference in my life since I have apply this practice. And I don't do it every day. I'm not perfect. Well, I hope I do it every day, but I don't do it every single minute of every day. But it's so much easier to love. It's so much easier to live a joyful life if I question my thoughts. So, and the rest of this is Byron Katie. An invitation to inquiry. Welcome to the work. I discovered that when I believed my thoughts, I suffered. But when I didn't believe them, I didn't suffer. And that this is true for every human being. Freedom is as simple as that. I found that suffering is optional. I found a joy within me that has never disappeared, not for a single moment. That joy is in everyone, always. And I invite you not to believe me. Don't believe me. I invite you to test it for yourself. Byron Katie. So just a little introduction to what it is before we show the video. What is this? Well, what is. The only time we suffer is when we believe a thought that argues with what is. The only time that we suffer is when we believe a thought that argues with what is. I thought I said what was. When the mind is perfectly clear, what is what we want. If you want reality to be different than it is, you might as well try to teach a cat to bark. You can try, and in the end, the cat will look up at you and say, meow. Wanting reality to be different than it is hopeless. And yet, if you pay attention, you'll notice that you believe thoughts like this dozens of times a day. People should be kinder. Children should be well behaved. My husband should agree with me. I should be thinner or prettier or more successful. These thoughts are ways of wanting reality to be different than it is. If you think that this sounds depressing, you're right. All the stress that we feel is caused by arguing with what is. The work reveals that what you think shouldn't have happened, should have happened. It should have happened because it did happen, and no thinking in the world can change it. This doesn't mean that you condone it or approve it. It just means you can see things without resistance and without the confusion of your inner struggle. No one wants their children to get sick. No one wants to be in a car accident. But when these things happen, how can it be helpful to mentally argue with them? We know better than to do that, yet we do it because we don't know how to stop. I am a lover of what is, not because I'm a spiritual person, but because it hurts when I argue with reality. We can know that reality is good just as it is, because when we argue with it, we experience tension and frustration. We don't feel natural or balanced. When we stop opposing reality, action becomes simple, fluid, kind, and fearless. So we can still take action, but we do it with a peace of mind as we're taking action rather than anger. This is my challenge. This is my biggest challenge. Staying in your own business. I can find only 3 kinds of business in the universe: mine, yours, and God's. Much of our stress comes from mentally living out of our own business. When I think you need to get a job, I want you to be happy. You should be on time. You need to take better care of yourself. You should do the work. I am in your business. When I'm worried about earthquakes, floods, war, or when I will die, I'm in God's business. If I'm mentally in your business or in God's business, the effect is separation. If you are living your life and I am mentally living your life, who is here living mine? We're both over there. To think that I know what's best for anyone else is to be out of my business. Even in the name of love, it is pure arrogance, and the result is tension, anxiety, and fear. Do I know what's right for me? That is my only business. Let me work with that before I try to solve your problems for you. So, with that, help.
Hi, Katie. Hi. I do have a question. The situation I was thinking of, I am being what feels like attacked. So I don't don't quite know what to do with that.
Is that the worksheet you wrote?
Yes,
Okay, let's do the work.
okay. I wrote about a teacher of mine. I'm also a therapist, and I'm in a clinical seminar, where, I am angry with Michelle, is that her name? Because not only will she not protect my emotions when I'm attacked, but she blames me for trying to protect myself.
So she blamed you for trying to protect yourself, is it true?
It was true,
It's a
and
yes or no?
yes,
Okay, so, and I'm gonna hold you to it, so if you take this work home with you, because I held you to it, you'll be able to hold you to it at home. Just one syllable, yes or no. So she blamed you for trying to protect yourself. So listen very closely, close your eyes and be there.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet, this is Dosette from Wix. Now this whole flow is a conversation, so your words actually build your website. I'm going for a story. And after a free-flowing conversation, I get this detailed site read. And just like that, my first draft is ready. Now that's dope. Next, you can really get.
Hi, Katie.
Hi.
I do
I'm
have
so
a
sorry,
question.
I'll-
The situation I was thinking of, I am
That should be the only commercial, or it is.
being, what feels like attacked. So,
I'm gonna have to sit
I don't quite know what to do with that.
Is that the worksheet you wrote?
Yes,
Okay, let's do the work.
okay. I wrote about a teacher of mine. I'm also a therapist, and I'm in a clinical seminar, where, I am angry with Michelle, is that her name? Because not only will she not protect my emotions when I'm attacked, but she blames me for trying to protect myself.
So she blamed you for trying to protect yourself, is it true?
It was true,
So it's a
and
yes or no?
yes,
Okay, so, and I'm gonna hold you to it, so if you take this work home with you, because I held you to it, you'll be able to hold you to it at home. Just one syllable, yes or no. So she blamed you for trying to protect yourself. So listen very closely, close your eyes and be there.
I'm crying, and there are tears and snot running down my face, and I said, excuse me, I need to go get Kleenex. And when I came back, she said that it was a privilege of me to leave. Well, not everyone has the privilege of leaving when they're uncomfortable.
She was blaming you for trying to protect yourself. Can you absolutely know when she said those words that she was blaming you for trying to protect yourself?
No,
Now notice emotionally what happened when you had the thought she's blaming you.
I felt very attacked, very scared. I wanted to run out of the room.
And notice how that's affected your relationship with that classroom, the teacher, the student.
I'm very distancing.
So now close your eyes and see you in that classroom. And just notice, who would you be? What would you be without the thought she's blaming you, she blamed you?
I would be much more empathetic to what she's trying to tell me.
So she's blaming me for trying to protect myself, turn it around.
I'm blaming her,
I'm blaming me for trying to protect.
myself. I'm blaming myself for trying to protect myself. Maybe I'm blaming her for trying to protect herself.
So see what it feels like when you drop the maybe and get really still in it and see it as opposed to guessing. So see you in that classroom, other than what you're thinking and believing, are you okay?
Yes,
So look at you. Look how well everything is without your judgment on it.
yeah, everything's fine without the judgment.
Yeah. And you're free to cry with stuff running down your face, and you're okay without your judgments. You're free. You're free to come back with your face all cleaned up. Just listen and get what you came for, which is to learn.
Right.
Yeah. So let's look at statement 2.
I want her to acknowledge my hard work, that acknowledge that I deserve to have comfort, and to admonish others for attacking me, and to comfort me.
Okay, so you see you in the classroom, you see her, You want her to comfort you. Is it true?
No. No, I feel needy. I feel like a little child demanding things that I don't need to demand.
Yeah. Let's turn around. I want her to comfort me.
I want me to comfort me.
Yeah, you're handy dandy. There you are. Right there with you. So how would you comfort you?
Maybe I can reassure myself that I'm not a bad person. That's the main thought that goes through my head when all this goes down.
So a way to comfort you, maybe in that situation, and I learned this from you, is to acknowledge your hard work.
Yeah.
And to know that you deserve to be comforted. You were emotional.
How do I do this in the moment if this happens again?
You know, you can't, but because we're doing this, you know the simple directions are in there with you somewhere and you're closer to them.
That's very true. What about this last piece, though? I want her to admonish others for attacking me. That seems problematic.
And I don't want to admonish her for attacking me. That's how to comfort you.
I don't want to admonish anyone. I don't want to be bothered by it.
No. Very comforting.
That's true.
Practical. Yeah. So you can hold her. I don't want her to acknowledge my hard work. I have me, and she's teaching.
I want to acknowledge my own hard work.
Yeah. Do you want her to stop the course that you signed up for? Do you acknowledge everyone and comfort everyone? There's not a lot of teaching that's going to go on there. Here's another one. I want me to acknowledge her hard work.
I do want that.
So read it that way the whole time.
I want to acknowledge her hard work. It's true.
And to acknowledge that she
Deserves to be comforted.
Yeah.
I want to comfort her. I think that's true.
Yeah, that's like you. This other is so against your true nature. So let's look at the next one.
She shouldn't blame me for taking care of myself. She should comfort me. She should acknowledge that I'm trying hard. She should realize that I'm choosing to be here and I could choose to leave.
Okay. Is it true she was blaming you for taking care of you?
No.
No. It's like we shift from victim to power.
Wow. Incredible. It's true.
Turned around.
I shouldn't blame me for taking care of myself.
Well, that's what really happened, isn't it?
I am.
And you see those images, and you put that storyline on those images, and then you just feel lost.
I feel doomed, damaged,
Yeah.
unlikable. This will always keep happening. I am unlikable.
So turn the whole thing around. I shouldn't blame me for taking care of myself.
I shouldn't blame me for taking care of myself. I should comfort myself. I should acknowledge that I'm trying hard. I should realize that I'm choosing to be here and could choose to leave.
Yes, you're free. But turn it around another way. I shouldn't blame her.
I shouldn't blame her for taking care of herself
Yeah, and her job.
and her job.
Yeah.
I should comfort her.
Mm-hmm.
I should acknowledge that she's trying hard and this is difficult. I should realize that she's choosing to be there and she could choose to leave too.
These truths really override the ego, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like being in the forest and being so lost in it, and all of a sudden the light just shines through, and it's like, oh, no longer lost.
I guess what I was hearing is you don't deserve to take care of yourself, but she didn't say that.
Very good. You are catching up with yourself. Oh my goodness, I think you have found the culprit here. That was you telling you that. And that's okay unless you believe it, but you believed it.
Now that I'm thinking back, I think she even said, I understand that you have to take care of yourself, but it's a privilege to get up and get cleaned up. Re-remembering things. What about she should tell this other student she's being unfair? I don't think I should tell the other student she's being unfair. That doesn't sound like the right.
So there's no one there, since this is all self-talk anyway. Turn it around and should tell me
I should tell me
that I am being
unfair.
unfair.
Maybe I am.
Well, drop the maybe, are you?
Yeah.
Good. Good, because maybe we'll leave your ego at play. Really check it out.
It's also possible I was unfair to the other student. I don't know.
Okay, so check it out.
Maybe that's another worksheet.
Yeah.
I tend to take a lot of blame in this classroom. I'm afraid that I'll continue taking blame and it'll just pile higher and higher, but I guess if I'm able to do the work about it, it doesn't really matter.
And you know how to do this because we've sat together and you're good at it. Your mind is very open. That's a gift.
I need to tell myself that she's not being unfair.
And you can do that honestly because you've discovered that she's not being unfair.
Right. Maybe I need to praise her, and I need to praise myself.
Yeah, and the way you can praise her is right here. And because she didn't say what you believed she said.
Right.
Yeah. Let's look for this one.
She is a bad teacher. She's a bigot. She's stupid. She's hateful, a terrible person, and racist.
You know, what I love about this is you've really collected your head and put it down. And I hope you've all done the same, because there's so much in it. You know, those people that say those things, it's like, maybe I don't say it, but am I thinking it? So this gives you an opportunity to just empty yourself on paper. So she's a bad teacher. In that situation, is it true?
No.
And she's a bigot. Is it true?
That I don't know about.
What is your definition of bigot?
I suspect she may dislike that I am a Jew.
And what has she said or done that would lead you to believe that she's a bigot?
I've been dismissive of my statements about recent threats against Jewish people in the States, and been seemingly uninterested in talking about my background, whereas she's interested in
I
talking
love
about
that you said seemingly.
You're right.
Interest.
I don't know.
Yeah.
My suspicion.
So she's a bigot. Is it true?
I don't
really look at it.
Can I know it? I can't know it.
Very good.
No.
She's stupid. Is it true? No. No. If she really is, get out of that crap.
She's not hateful either. She's a loving person.
She's racist. Is it true?
I don't know for a fact, no.
She's a bigot and a racist, okay? Notice what happens to your attitude toward her the moment you think that thought and believe it.
It categorizes her as an evil person when I don't really know that that's the fact.
And just feel what that feels like, to sit in a classroom with someone that you believe that onto.
Yeah.
Would you be in that classroom, in that situation, without those thoughts?
Much more at ease, much less guarded, much less defensive.
Less bigoted yourself.
That's very true.
So turn it around. In that situation, I am.
In that situation, I'm bigoted and I'm racist. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Toward the Jewish people.
Toward the Jewish people? Maybe I don't see it.
Well, you're thinking of that like it's not okay. Like it's not okay to be Jewish.
From someone else's perspective.
Yeah.
I see.
And what you're putting on you, imagining onto her, is you putting it on Jewish people.
That's interesting. Even though there are those sentiments out there, maybe not with her.
Well, I would check it out. Out where?
Out in the bomb threats to the JCC this past week. Is that not real?
Well, I'm leaving those things to you.
I don't have,
No, you know why people bomb people?
I don't know that, no.
Well, if you believed what they believe, you would bomb people too.
That's probably true.
So the clearer you get, the less teachers are going to bomb in your head. And it starts here. Because anytime anyone puts you in charge, if you're more here, you're not going to be your maximum beautiful self.
Yeah, I'm the one who's focusing on these thoughts, yeah.
When you're believing your thoughts, you are educating yourself. And that is your reference towards you, the human race, and the only way I know to break that spell is to meditate on, is it true? When those emotions arise and you're feeling anxiety or a depression or sadness, identify what you're thinking and believing, capture it on paper, and then meditate on those 4 questions and opposites. Okay, precious, let's look at the last one.
I don't ever want to feel helpless, to feel wronged, to feel unfairly blamed, and unable to protect myself, made to feel like a bad person.
And I can tell you, looking back in my life, I have never been wronged. Not once. And I'm really researching this one. I'm just always researching it. Okay, so I'm willing
to feel helpless. I'm willing to feel unfairly blamed. I'm willing to feel unable to protect myself.
yeah, that kind of hopelessness. You feel that, and it automatically just a worksheet, identify what you're thinking and believing and get this squared away, or you're just enforcing that identification. Who am I? I am helpless. I am wronged. I'm unfairly blamed. This is my identity. So we're really breaking identity down.
So in a way, we're almost saying, I'm willing to feel this way because I have to.
Well, you have to feel it when it arises. But if you're awake to it, and that's what this work does, if you're awake to it, you actually experience like laughter that doesn't show to other people. It just looks like you're in a good mood. So I look forward to it.
I look forward to feeling helpless.
Yeah, because it's another worksheet.
I look forward to feeling wronged.
It's another worksheet. No one can wrong me. How could someone wrong me? You're actually writing me. Just like you discovered in the classroom. You thought she was wronging you. But she was just talking about privilege, according to you. So I break that trance through, the truth sets us free.
I look forward to being made to feel like a bad person.
Yes, exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot to learn again.
Because those things are so far off when you look to your true nature. Until mind matches true nature, it's not done. That's the end of separation, and it's the beginning of life on this planet. It's a whole new way of being. It's life without problems. Just life lived out of wisdom.
It's been going on since September. I wonder what would have happened if I started doing this like months and months ago,
Well, just wonder what's going to happen now.
I do wonder about
Yeah, be willing to and look forward to
I look forward to
every attack thought you've got, honey, towards you or the world.
Yeah.
You are beautiful, and believing these thoughts don't allow you to realize it. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're precious. You are so wonderful.
So, that was at the normal speed instead of a little bit faster, I think, so I'm not gonna say anything else except that whenever she says, no one has ever wronged me, what I believe that she's meaning is that, okay, if I can choose how it affects me. I can choose how it affects me. If someone is doing something, are they necessarily doing it to me? And even if somebody robs me, somebody loses, whatever, my attitude towards this and the way that I see life and the choices that I choose to make from this point forward are the things, honestly, that's what the times whenever it feels like somebody's wronged me the most are the times that I have grown so much in my own soul and my personality matching up to my soul to get clearer and stronger and know, hey, that's not my business. I don't know why he did that. I don't know, but all I'm thinking is, can I do me? Can I just do me? And it is life changing. So just to clear that up, she's not saying, I mean, she's very much an activist. She's very much a supportive activist, but do it with a peace of mind and a clear mind so that you can be more effective is all she's saying. If we're angry all the time, and we're saying, shut up, don't, we don't know what we want to understand other people and we want to work together. So that's what I love about this so much. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alicia, will you be here for afterthoughts?
If anybody would like to share any afterthoughts, I would be happy to, and I'm happy if everybody wants to go to, but I could talk about this all day long, but it's just, this is so much, so exciting to me, so, sure.
Be very afraid she's touching the computer again. There we go. Now it's time for our offering. Half of the offerings not designated as pledges will go to Borough Pride, and I am gonna try to give us a little music here.
Give thanks for the corn and the wheat that are reaped, for labor well done, and for barns that were heaped, for the sun and the dew and the sweet honeycomb, for the rose and the song and the harvest was home. Give thanks for the mills and the farms on our land, for craft and the strength in the work of our hands, for the beauty our artists and poets have wrought, for the hope and affection our friendships have brought. Seasons of plenty and wealth.
These gifts are received in grateful appreciation of our shared hopes and values. And now is the time for joys and concerns. If you do have something you'd like to share, please come and drop a stone or light a candle, or you can share from your seat. I'll be glad to drop a stone or light a candle for you. Please let us know who you are. Candle of appreciation for your forbearance today with my lack of technological experience. I appreciate it.
I'll make it a concern now rather than an announcement later.
those of you who are serving on the program committee, and you have agreed to serve this summer, don't you need some people to sign up for fall, that would help to arrange programs, find programs? Our new minister is gonna be a halftime minister, and we lost an intern who was one of our 2 guest ministers, and we're gonna still need more programs. So see June, or let Sherry know and who else is, who is serving us now currently on the committee. You know.
I think Mark.
Mark?
I think Mark.
That's right, Mark. And so, we need somebody to pick it up from there, from what, around September forward? Yeah.
So for every time you have said, man, I wish we talked about this with you next month. Anybody else?
How about a candle for the concern with the U.S. and Iran?
Shall I rather Lord? Or uncertainties.
I'm lighting, in this concern, and I'm lighting this candle to connect us energetically with what is currently happening in Baltimore, the General Assembly. My daughter and Stephanie and my husband Leon are there and sending wonderful pictures, and Bill had just come back, and you can probably agree with me that it's a wonderful experience. It's just, I've been to Selma, it always uplifts me, it puts me into a greater community of you, and Leon and Stephanie have met up with Jane and Greg, and our minister. So they're ahead of us, and of course Bill has met. So just an acknowledgement, the joy of the conference, and I think right now, or maybe it's already over, is the service of the living traditions, where ministers are acknowledged and presented to the larger community. So I just wanted to make an energetic connection to what's going on in Baltimore.
And I will light one final candle and take in all those joys and concerns that we carry but are not ready to express. I invite you now to invoke that spirit of life and love as we enter into a time of prayer and reflection. May we know that we as a community are connected in these joys and concerns, and that we may look to one another for support and affirmation. May we truly cherish this time we've shared together this morning in communion with each other and all that we hold sacred. Amen. Blessed be. Our closing hymn is Spirit of Life. It is on the board, and I'm going to give us hopefully some music.
sea, move in the hand, giving life the shade of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of mine, come to me, come to me.
Please join me as we extinguish the chalice. We extinguish
This
this
is
chalice.
flame, not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Do we have any announcements?
A couple of us, I was speaking about the program committee, when now, on June Day is worship leader, that's different. Teresa, is it you who have done trainings on being worship leader? Could we use some more?
Yes, and we're planning a training. Sherry's got a couple of candidates already, but
All right.
certainly if you are interested in learning or willing to serve as a worship leader, just let me or Sherry know and we'll get you on the list.
All right, and also, I got this from Teresa this morning. NETCO, is that the way they pronounce it? Is a fostering organization. And they asked us to partner just by putting up a couple of posters, and I put one on the bulletin board there near the door, and I'll put this one somewhere out there. But it has these tear-off tabs at the bottom, and they're saying, give kids safe homes. Are you interested in becoming a foster parent? And they definitely seem to welcome all. I mean, they do. Eligible families are single parents, married couples, elderly, empty nesters, cohabiting couples, LGBTQ+, and anyone over age 21. And so, that's 21 and
That
over.
about covers it.
Any other announcements? Then please join us for coffee and come back in just a few minutes. We will have afterthoughts. Now, please rise in body and spirit as we sing Go Now in Peace.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
Thank you.
Well, Mary.
Oh,
Good. Y'all like to have each other.
Yes.
Good? Tell me about your two brothers, how they doing?
Thank you for
It's both of them here now.
Very
Remember I met your brother when he was living in
I'll be
Atlanta.
right up to you.
He came looking for a job, and I interviewed him for the job. No, this was his pockets. The company I worked for 29 years. But he's moved here now, hasn't he? Yeah, that's what I thought.